Hello everyone, MetaNextCable here, and today we finally got another direct about new Pokemon news, and there are many new things that we've learned today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's begin. So, I did a video a few weeks ago about every single thing we know about the next game, and every single confirmed Pokemon, both new and old, and well, since the new direct is out, I now want to take my time and talk about that in specific. What news we got? So let's first start out with the Wiglet reveal. So first thing we have to really put in place is that Wiglet is his very own Pokemon. It's not a form of Diglett, it's not an evolution. In the Pokemon website, it specifically says, it may look like Diglett, but it's actually a completely different species of Pokemon. Wiglet pokes a part of its body out of the sand to feed in the ocean. It's still unclear what the rest of the body hidden in the sand is like, or how long it may be. As you can see, Wiglet is basically based off an electric Gardevoir or something like that. So yeah. So Wiglet is just a different Pokemon, its own species. It's kind of how Bouffalant and Tauros both exist. However, they could technically be an evolution if they could. I kind of see it in that way. The reveal was pretty short, so we don't have any new other mechanics or Pokemon revealed or not, whatnot. Just Wiglet. I mean, we do know it knows Water Gun, but that's really about it. Now let's get to the new trailer that came out this morning. So from the new trailer, the first thing I kind of noticed that I haven't actually said in past videos is that I noticed that there's a day and night cycle. Now I know this is common in most games, especially modern Pokemon games, but I just wanted to shout that out before we start with the main stuff. So the trailer basically starts off by summarizing what we know, and then it decides to basically put us in the eyes of 4 trainers. And well, the first thing we get to see is the HUD and all that, the AI or the setup of what we're playing with. So basically the battle menu a lot. And I really like the new look. It looks pretty smooth. After that, we go to a boy who goes up to a Jigglypuff that's already terrestrialized. So in Sword and Shield, there will be Pokemon who will just walk around or run around with a slight yellow aura. These are called Brilliant Pokemon. And the more I think about it, this was a clear foreshadowing for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to come out, but that's whatever. Brilliant Pokemon are usually more higher level than the regular Pokemon around them, and when you do defeat them, you get some raid points. Well, the terrestrializing wild Pokemon themselves are basically kind of like that, but of course with terrestrialized Pokemon, and after a certain amount of damage, they unterrestrialize and you're able to catch them. Of course, instead of these Pokemon having a yellow aura like they do in Sword and Shield, they're more shining. And not shiny as in different colors like shiny Pikachu, shiny Charizard. They're just regular Pokemon, but, shining, or shiny, a bit shiny. During this Jigglypuff battle, they confirmed that basically every single Pokemon in the game can also terrestrialize to any 18 types in the game. So you can have a terrestrializing type Pikachu that's fairy, water, grass, whatever, it can do it. Another cool thing they actually announced too was the Let's Go command, which is a reference to, Pokemon Let's Go, but we're not going to talk about that now. With the Let's Go command, if there's a roaming wild Pokemon, you can do the Let's Go command and your leading Pokemon will go out and battle the Pokemon itself. So for example, they showed this example with Litleo. So Quaxly would just go battle in without you having to go into the battle command and all that, which is pretty cool. And yes, you can actually do the Let's Go command to get items too. Plus, just like in Legends Arceus, you can actually set your destination on the map. Next up, the player rides a Koraidon into the rival school, and there's actually a lot of interesting things here that we've noticed. So first of all, when you go into Team Star base, you can only come in with 3 leading Pokemon. And when you just barge in and raid their base, they're going to attack you with all their Pokemon. So it's kind of I don't know, kind of like League of Legends, I guess, where the opponents will take out 30 of their Pokemon and you only have 3 of yours, and your Pokemon will freely battle each other Pokemon. However, there is one very interesting thing I found out in this when we were watching this. And in the very small, and it's really pixelated, but you can actually see the pre-evolution of Curlion. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Mega Man looking ass guy, the fire one. Yes, that one. He looks like a pre-evolution, so I'm assuming that his counterpart is going to look somewhat similar. Also, with another trainer, they actually reveal a new invention called a TM machine. Now in this machine, you can actually make your own machine, similar to Arceus crafting. So with a Let's Go command, Pokemon will drop items. Just like when you catch Pokemon in Arceus, they sometimes drop items. Well, Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet will drop items when you defeat them. And you can pick up those items. With those items, you can use it to make TMs with a TM machine. This is similar to how you can like make a bunch of items in Arceus, like potions, Pokeballs, and all that stuff in Arceus. This second trainer later goes, fights a Titan Cloth, and it's revealed the new power, Tera Blast, is basically an attack that basically depends on your Pokemon's Tera type. So for Drifloon, its Tera type was Grass, so Tera Blast was going to be a Grass type move. This is specifically good with Pokemon that have a Tera type different from the type they already are. So for example, let's say you have a Mimikyu, and it has an Ice Tera type. Well, Tera type will be, or Tera Blast will be an Ice type move. Next up, they reveal that we can actually trade people on the spot. Now, however, they traded a Girafarig, and well, we finally get the reveal that Girafarig has a new evolution. A freaking astronaut. It's now a Farigiraf, and I do like the motif where like, for Girafarig, if you spell it backwards, it will still be Girafarig. And Farigiraf, if you spell it backwards, it'll still be Farigiraf. I really love that idea that they're keeping it in, like the motif or style, because Girafarig, well, her whole motif is that if you have it silhouetted, and if you cut it in half, it's the same thing. Next up, they reveal the town of Artisan and something else. New Pokemon. Kind of. In the corner of the map, you can see that the map is able to show us some Pokemon in the area. However, they're showing us Pokemon we actually have never seen before. We've seen a white mouse Pokemon, some mushroom rock, which I'm honestly going to be honest with you, I feel like this is like a Paldean form of freaking, whatchamacallit, Dwibble. A parrot Pokemon, which not going to lie, I'm surprised that we haven't had a parrot Pokemon yet. And, of course, Corviknight's pre-evolution. And I find this crazy that they actually let this in the trailer without knowing. They literally just revealed us like 3 new Pokemon designs without us knowing. And you might be wondering, oh, but what if it's like a placeholder, or like, you know how in Pokemon Blue where like in your thing or your party, a lot of Pokemon, like for example, all water types will be represented as Lapras or a Blob or something like that. No, because look, Corviknight's pre-evolution is already here, which means the map shows all species of Pokemon. Therefore, we have 3 new species that haven't been revealed to us that got secretly leaked by Nintendo themselves. Now, from observing these Pokemon, we can see one of them is a normal type, maybe Ice, but I'm going to go with the normal type. One is probably a flying type, normal flying, because, you know, they're usually normal flying. In fact, this might be the region's bird Pokemon, which I believe we haven't been revealed yet. And the Dwebble looking thing looks like a ground rock type, or a rock type in general. I might be wrong about the Dwebble Paldean form thing, but he does kind of look like a crab Pokemon, or maybe an acorn. So who knows, it might be a grass type too, or a grass rock. But yeah, these are interesting. Anyway, in this new town, they reveal how the gym system works. Now, a lot of us actually thought that there will be 18 different gyms for each type, but sadly, we've been revealed there's only 8 type of gyms. And there's gym challenges, similar to Sword and Shield. And I do just kind of want to notice this one small detail I noticed, that in the scene where Sunflora is like running with you, the animation looks a bit choppy. But then again, I can't really be saying much about it until the game releases, because after all, this all might be like pre-alpha stuff, so we can't really judge a trailer's animation like that until we actually have the game itself. Another thing we've also noticed is that we have a lot more customization for our characters and the camera app. Now, the customization is much more greater than that of Sword and Shield, and a camera app is a simple camera app, except you can make a lot of poses and move around the camera freely to make a lot of beautiful camera shots, which I find really cute. The next new feature basically announced is a picnic. So you know how you can make a camping area in Sword and Shield? Well, Picnic is basically that with a few new features. So you can actually give your Pokemon a bath, which I'm going to assume helps with friendship levels and making it higher. And you can actually let your Pokemon play with a ball. And instead of making curry, you make sandwiches. Now, in the next thing, I did notice something really interesting. So first off, Greedent's evolution is here, which confirms him in the game. And regular Wooper is also here. So I'm assuming there has to be a way to get regular Wooper and Paldean Wooper. And if you can do as Wooper, then I guess you can find other ways to get other forms of Paldean Pokemon. Like for example, with other Paldean forms, there might be a way to get their alternative regular forms. Eating sandwiches, of course, give you benefits like, for example, getting more experience, or easier to catch certain types of Pokemon, like ground types, grass, or whatnot, depending on the sandwich you make. And I'm assuming there's going to be like a sandwich Pokédex, like there was like a curry Pokédex, like in Sword and Shield. So yeah. And the last thing we found out about, and well, we already knew a lot of things about it, is the Tera raid battles. So we know that they're basically going to be the same thing as Sword and Shield raid battles, except you can attack whenever you want. And we also got a few new things, like if your Pokemon gets knocked out, after a while they can just come back up. And that when you cheer on your Pokemon, it's assumed that like cheering on your Pokemon can actually like give them benefits in battle, like healing up or a small buff in like attack and stuff like that. And with that being said, that's everything you need to know about the new Direct from the Pokemon Company. New Pokemon, new mechanics and gimmicks and all that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because I really do appreciate it. I have 45 subscribers right now, and I would love to get to 100 by the end of the month. So if you can, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it more than you think. With that being said, have a great day, and don't forget to wipe your ass when you take a shit.